Chrisean Rock's drama has taken yet another dangerous turn, and it might be hard to ignore this time. There have been reports of Child Protective Services being summoned once more, which many people think could be the tipping point in an already alarming situation. Social media circles have been filled with rumors concerning Chrisean's capacity to raise her child for months. The issues have now become serious enough to warrant formal reporting, though. The world has seen her fall apart in real time. Everything, from tumultuous Instagram accounts and backstage altercations to the tragic footage of baby Junior sobbing in noisy, unsteady settings, seem to be a tragedy playing out in slow motion. CPS has now opened a formal investigation into her parenting after receiving numerous reports in the last 3 days alone, according to people familiar with the case. According to some, the current live feed was characterized by unpredictable intensity and frightening scenes that set off the alarm. Some blame Blueface's circle, saying they are planning a custody battle to take complete custody of the youngster. Whatever the origins, one thing is glaringly obvious. Now, public sentiment is changing. The internet isn't that divided. A devoted following continues to support Chrisean, claiming that despite tremendous pressure, she is trying her best. Even a broader group of critics contends that the infant should be given stability rather than a front-row seat to dysfunction. When the debate was at its worst, a former Chrisean acquaintance entered the public front with purported evidence that may make all the difference. Private messages and displayed receipts all alluded to a more sinister, deeper pattern occurring behind the scenes. Should the accusations prove to be true, this disclosure could severely damage Chrisean's reputation and her chances of preserving custody. What started out as a clumsy celebrity dispute is gradually developing into something much more serious. A battle for the safety of a kid, both legally and emotionally. As the pieces come together, social media is booming and headlines are popping up. It's not about scandal or celebrity anymore. It concerns the best course of action for a newborn stranded in the middle of a storm. This goes beyond another social controversy in the media. This is a depressing point in Chrisean Rock's ongoing story. Additionally, it may be the most tragic episode to date. At the heart of it all is a baby, a mother fighting both personal and public pressure, and a storm that has only gotten worse since the cameras first started filming. Before the internet made her life a public spectacle, CPS began to knock. Before the headlines and viral videos, Chrisean was just a determined Baltimore girl. She grew up in a society where achieving your goals was frequently your only hope for survival. Her surroundings had made her tough, and she exuded a ferocious energy. Her goal of becoming successful was unabated by poverty or suffering. She entered the crazy world of reality TV because of her resolve. But she had no idea how far she would fall when she met Blue, the instant she entered his world. It all started to fall apart. A perverse turning point was her debut on Blue Girls Club, the uncensored and frequently exploitative Zeus Network series. As she fought with her roommates, sobbed on cue, and declared her unwavering love in between sobs, cameras rolled. An opportunity to gain notoriety turned into a warning on what happens when suffering is presented as happiness. The story of Chrisean was soon characterized by extremes. She wore her lost tooth as a symbol of loyalty after losing it in a battle. Not just once, but several times. As if ink might solidify her position in Blueface's universe, she had his name permanently inked on her face. Fans watched the chaos unfold in a loop, unable to take their eyes off the arrests, shouts, and crying live feeds. Chrisean stayed the whole time, despite all of the physical aggression, emotional anguish, and public humiliation. She held on to the conviction that what they had was true. That somehow, this storm she was going through would turn into a historic tale of love and triumph. Her allegiance extended beyond Blueface. The goal was to demonstrate her indestructibility. Even as everyone across the world saw her break in real time. In addition to the chaos that encircled her, Chrisean's journey is particularly tragic because of her strong conviction that all of her suffering meant something and that the heartache, the humiliation in public, and in some way the unpredictability was guiding her toward something bigger. She believed that the battle was the narrative and that persevering through it would ultimately demonstrate her fortitude, devotion, and possibly even value. On the opposite side of her career, she appeared to think that something lovely would emerge: a solid relationship, a strong comeback if she only remained faithful through the worst of it. The reality of fame, particularly the kind based on spectacle and dysfunction, is much worse. The mechanism that converts personal suffering into amusement consumed her instead of rewarding her for her tenacity. She begged for love throughout. Her vulnerable, live streaming moments, clips of people lashing out in rage, went viral, but they were shared with derision or disinterest rather than empathy. She was deprived of control by the same media attention that made her famous, replaying, analyzing, and using every mistake as fuel for reaction videos and blogs that spread rumor. Her emotional and mental health also worsened as the boundaries between reality TV and her real life became more hazy. The girl who previously exuded unadulterated ambition turned into a representation of emotional turmoil. Her once magical powers began to wane due to unhealed wounds and public scrutiny. This extremely poisonous, volatile entanglement with Blueface, on the other hand, appeared more like a trap than a love story. Nevertheless, she remained. But she hoped. Nevertheless, she struggled to give it all significance. Chrisean is now under even more scrutiny as a rising number of people doubt her stability, legal documents appear, and child protective services look into her parenting. Once amplifying her every move for financial gain, the same system now judges her and provides no assistance, just headlines. It is difficult to avoid asking, did she ever really have control? Was she conscious of her pursuit of attention? Or did a culture that thrives on dysfunction and brokenness, especially from young Black women, push her into it? Regardless, her story has changed. A tumultuous romance or viral altercation is no longer the only topic. It concerns what occurs when a person's darkest moments are turned into commodities, when no one intervenes until it is too late, and when everyone treats your suffering as a performance. Chrisean's story serves as a warning about the price of celebrity in a world of digital information where nothing is forbidden, particularly not human life. Her pregnancy announcement caused a rift on the internet. Some saw it as her story of redemption. Others saw her inability to care for herself as a warning flag. How would she raise a kid? Regretfully, they had good reason to be concerned. From the first moment, baby Junior, when they arrived, things were shaky. Instead of even showing up at the delivery room, Blueface opted to publish sarcastic content on Twitter. Co-parenting efforts soon devolved into outright animosity. Junior was transported everywhere by Chrisean, including live streaming, studio, sessions, clubs, and interviews. But rather than applauding her hustle, others began to voice concerns. She was applying makeup in one widely shared video as her infant screamed close by. Apparently disregarded, she unintentionally dropped him in the middle of her task in another clip. Next came the blunt fans, who claimed to have seen marijuana inches from the stroller on one stream. The reaction was harsh and quick. Nevertheless, Chrisean retaliated, publicly defending herself. "Although I'm not flawless, I am his mother. It's good. Content." But the defense started to fall apart after a woman posing as her old friend and stylist released voicemails and direct messages that presented a bleak image. A terrifying incident where the baby apparently consumed something he shouldn't have, unclean bottles, and missing visits. She clarified, "This isn't shade, it's a plea for help." A Pediatric Nurses Anonymous Reddit post shortly after stunned the internet, but it didn't. Fans made snap judgments based on names. Blueface quickly added fuel to the fire. Show a mysterious picture of a CPS card with no context. Bloggers attested to it. Indeed, there had been several reports submitted and a wellness check was on the horizon. Then Zeus producers revealed a moment of their emotional collapse. While Junior screamed in the background, Chrisean was crying. Only 48, her eyes were drained and she was clearly overwhelmed when she went live, contrary to slurring. Her words only hours before the CPS visit. She dismissed the calls from fans to comfort her wailing youngster. He's pampered. He'll be okay. The criticism this time wasn't just loud. Everybody agreed. It was something even her devoted fans had. To acknowledge the world is watching while something goes terribly wrong. CPS responded quickly when Twitter parenting influencers raised the alarm. Child Protective Services unexpectedly arrived at Chrisean rental home in Los Angeles. A neighbor reported seeing suited authorities enter her house while she was still, getting ready for a Zeus shoot? Shortly after, witnesses said Chrisean burst into tears and said, "Y'all are doing too much. There's no abuse. Y'all odd." CPS, known for taking repeated reports seriously, particularly when video evidence is involved. The agency was allegedly handling over 16 complaints in a single month, according to leaked insider emails. According to those same rumors, the wellness check led to a Level 2 care review, which paved the way for mandatory parenting classes and continuous surveillance. One agent allegedly told Chrisean behind closed doors, "If another incident happens, we may have to take it to court." A few hours later, the speculation grew as Chrisean remained silent and did not post her baby for more than 2 days. A dramatic departure from her usual social media presence. Blueface fueled the fire by posting an unsettling picture of his Mother Teresa holding baby Junior conspicuously, not inside Chrisean home but rather at his mom's house in the valley. The captionless photo left fans wondering if Blueface had temporarily gained custody, but no legal confirmation followed. Her next live stream was a furious outburst. "They're trying to take my baby like I'm a bad mom," she said through tears. "I thought y'all were rooting for me," she said, accusing Blueface of using their son as a prop and asserting that he never even wanted the child. Meanwhile, alleged texts from a leaked group chat between Blueface, his mother Chrisean, and his ex-boyfriend Jaden were shared on gossip pages. Chrisean allegedly told y'all this would happen. Motherhood is not a natural fit for that girl. Blueface allegedly replied, "As long as I have him with me, he's good." Jaden chimed in with a cutting remark. "Imagine caring more about fame than your child soon." Celebrities weighed in. Tokyo Toni went live, urging Chrisean to sit down and focus on being a mother, while Summer Walker posted a cryptic story many saw as shade, stating, "Being a mom means sacrificing." The spotlight abruptly caused the internet to go wild. Viewers still did not fully understand the gravity of the situation. But once the comments began to come in, the momentum was unstoppable. People were tagging Chrisean and demanding that she stop her silence, while others were criticizing Blueface for allegedly using the drama to influence public opinion and the courts. Everyone was on edge, wondering if CP would try to get full custody of baby Junior, as if things couldn't get any messier. An explosive twist came this time, and it wasn't from a blog, gossip site, or Blueface's notorious social media rants. A leaked medical report. Was Chrisean in a downward spiral or facing a long overdue reckoning? One thing was certain. The real casualty was the 1-year-old child caught between chaos, cameras, and controversy. Appeared in fan groups purportedly from a pediatric clinic. In Los Angeles, the confidential document, which was widely shared online, stated that baby Junior had been exposed to secondhand marijuana, smoke, and displayed symptoms of elevated toxins associated with neglectful conditions. The internet as a whole let out a gasp. Was this report authentic? Was it leaked by someone close to Chrisean? Or perhaps by Blueface himself? Quickly fanned the flames by reposting the purported certificate with the scathing remark, "Sis, you can't raise a baby in the club. Facts." It was that one post that ignited social media. There was indignation. The hashtag #SaveGR became popular within hours as fans demanded that Chrisean be taken off the show by Zeus Network. There was a swift and intense pushback. Chrisean responded by going live, with tears in her eyes, accusing the documents of being a total fabrication. "I don't even smoke like that around my son," she insisted. This is an elaborate setup. The culprits behind this are Blueface and his resentful baby moms. When Tessie, her older sister, joined the live stream, however, things took an unexpected turn. While viewers anticipated solidarity, Tessie called Chrisean out instead. "You must cease. Assuming the role of victim is not always the fault of others. You are the one sometimes." It felt like a smack to be betrayed. Incredulous fans flocked to Twitter. Disintegration of the familial unit. Even Tessie is tired. This isn't hate. This is accountability. And as if the firestorm could grow hotter, one person wrote on Instagram. An anonymous account uploaded recorded voice message purportedly by a member of the Zeus team. Another wave of worry was sparked by the 37-second tape, which featured a man saying, "She left the baby on set again. No car seat, no diaper bag. We cannot keep covering for her." With the release of behind-the-scenes recordings, medical disclosures, and family upheaval, the question that was reverberating on all platforms was no longer solely about custody. That was questioning if baby Junior's safety had been jeopardized in the name of celebrity. Then the internet suddenly collapsed. Fans were firmly split between Chrisean and Team Intervention. And what started out as whispers escalated into a full-scale online battle. Under pressure, society is always eager to demonize Black moms, according to one side's fervent defense of her. They urged her to try her best. What about Blueface's responsibility? However, the opposition's critics weren't amenable. "This infant doesn't require a plot or live-streamed video," they hit back. "Before it's too late, he must have a secure, caring environment." Chrisean, the Blue mother, then added gasoline to the flames by jumping in with a Facebook Live that quickly became popular. She was displaying a legal file folder that she said belonged to her lawyer. Chrisean announced that she'd applied for her grandson's emergency guardianship earlier. "Y'all want to play with that baby's life? I got time. I got receipts, and I got a lawyer who don't miss," she yelled. However, it was the statement that truly made Jaws cry. A baby needs a mother, not a marketing strategy. Cue even popular publications like Hollywood Unlocked and Boats Up started covering the incident as if it were a major national emergency, despite the fact that some people referred to her as messy and overly interested. Quickly, even celebrities started to weigh in. "I love Chrisean, but she needs a break." JT from City Girls tweeted, and Erica Mena gave some wise counsel. "Baby sometimes has to take a step back to recuperate." Zeus Network, the website that allegedly started Chrisean ascent, apparently started to retreat, while Young Miami became cryptic and said, "Being outside isn't worth losing your child." Executives alerted her to a behavioral provision in her contract, according to insiders. In other words, a temporary suspension from filming could result from any further public situations with her child. Blueface continued to fuel the fires while saying, "We love her story, but not at the expense of a child's safety." The brand's reputation is on the line, according to a person close to the production. He shared it again. Drama videos and implied that a custody dispute was imminent but revealed DMS's claims that he didn't genuinely desire custody in order to publicly humiliate Chrisean into backing out. With a child caught in the middle of it all, a father reportedly using the media as a weapon, and a mother in mental anguish, we are left with this situation. Once a tabloid rumor, it has now become a cultural flashpoint. Instagram feeds are overflowing with old videos of Chrissy arguing and weeping during live streams, with captions that ruthless assessments such as, "And y'all said she should be a mom," Others call for action. Those were the baby's first words. Her supporters clap back, but beware of where my lawyer is. Not all mothers are flawless. One follower commented, half of y'all were raised worse. Posts that went viral justified Chrisean pain by presenting it as a result of her history rather than evidence of her shortcomings. Influencers were divided as well. With the words, "Support, not shame," Simone called for compassion. However, Tokyo Toni retaliated. She refuses assistance. Her goal is to become famous. Subsequently, a TikTok purporting to be from a CPS intern went viral, alleging anonymously that the case file of a particular celebrity mother was more extensive than a college textbook. The comment section was ablaze. That infant is in need of a community. Even before Chrisean blinks, Carissa will be granted custody. You guys are still blaming Blue. Following this, the entertainment industry started to consider love. And hip-hop artist Erica Mena wrote in a mysterious caption, "Some people have babies to heal, others have them to hold on to fame." Fans instantly connected the message to Chrisean, which fueled the #unfit or unfair trend that quickly took over Twitter. However, the last gut punch was delivered by Zeus, according to reports. Chrisean was unfollowed by the network's co-founder, who also discreetly deleted her highlight reel from the platform's official page. The case is still ongoing and more noisy than ever in the court of public opinion. Once the dust settled, fan theories took off like wildfire. Social internet was ablaze with rumors that Zeus was abandoning Chrisean. Before the crisis got worse, were they attempting to restore the brand? Charlemagne Thaw God even offered his opinion on The Breakfast Club, saying that Chrisean should disconnect from the cameras and the spotlight and instead sit in a therapist's chair. It's no longer about clicks. A baby has been born. It's real life. When someone is as open and honest as Charlemagne, it marks a sea change. On YouTube, response videos were all over the place. Every aspect of Chrisean's current turmoil was examined by gossip bloggers, ranging from the remarkable Tatasha K to Storm and Rowe, who contributed their own perspectives to a story that was becoming more and more complicated. A deeper conversation was started by one content producer. Chrisean is not as huge as this. It's about networks purposefully putting unstable people in front of millions of people in order to get views at the expense of mental health. We're all involved. The argument suddenly changed, devolved from a simple debate over Chrisean's suitability as a mother to a referendum on the reality TV sector as a whole. Whether the actors make it through mental exams. Should websites such as Zeus be subject to legal responsibility for the content they advertise? But more importantly, who is keeping Baby Jr. safe? Among the trending hashtags, leaked communications and other content, that question became the focal point of the emotional uproar and contentious discussions. There was still one truth. There's a baby being raised in a microscope. In a battle he never requested to be a part of, he is highlighted and forced to read headlines before he can talk. He didn't pick the cameras or the mayhem. His future is being transformed into a virtual battlefield as grown-ups split over coalitions. Additionally, when people on the internet kept picking sides, was it Team Blueface? Or an unexpected bombshell was dropped just when it seemed like the drama had reached its climax, leaving #Team Chris1 little life trapped in the crossfire and in need of calm, protection, and a chance at normalcy. Jaden Alexis's signature was seen on the documents purportedly obtained by a purported paralegal on Reddit, which claimed that Blueface's mother, Carissa, had filed for custody of Baby Jr. Indeed, it was the same Jaden who had been publicly at odds with Chrisean for years, including engaging in a violent altercation on Instagram Live. She suddenly seemed to be on Carissa's side. Both are said to support the temporary guardianship petition. Chrisean was deemed unfit for the time being due to her emotional instability. frequent exposure to dangerous situations, and unpredictable public behavior, according to the records. On social media, that leak caused a stir. Some previous backers changed their minds at once. Documentation and witnesses are present. Say I'm sorry, but I saved Junior, they shared. Those who sensed strategy speculated that Blueface had been planning the entire play, using Jaden and Carissa as his chess pieces. Chrisean, on the other hand, was forced to defend herself. The custody petition wasn't the only thing that caused the internet to go down either. It was a brand new sound clip. When a voice message purportedly from Chrisean's aunt appeared, it devastated followers everywhere.